How are we doing, guys? Welcome to another how-to. Now this one is going to be all about zig fishing, which in my opinion is one of the most underused and underrated methods within carp fishing. As you can see, it's April, my favourite time of the year to get out fishing. All the best time of the year is ahead of us. It's starting to warm up, the fish are starting to wake up, and zigs are absolutely prime. As the sun's high in the sky, those upper layers of water are getting warmer quicker than the lower layers, so you'll often see the carp up on the surface. Now, especially around April time, you'll notice the fish aren't quite ready to take off the surface, but they're sitting a foot, 2, 3 foot under. This is prime time for zigs, but not the only time. All year round, zigs are effective. A lot of people only fish zigs, and they often actually outfish the anglers that fish on the bottom, and the reason being the carp all year round spend most of the time mid layers. Even in the winter time you'll still find carp swimming mid layers. So we've made a dedicated zig bundle. It's been live on the Rippa website now for I think a couple of months, and I've decided to show you how to tie it. It's super simple. It comes supplied with the zig screws in the mixed colours. You get black, red, white and yellow, and you can see there you get the small kicker screws, and you'll screw the black and yellow foam onto that, or of course one of the foams out of the packet itself. So it's all super simple to tie. You get an extra long anti-tangle sleeve, you get size 7 claws, and you get 10-pound zig flow. Now you want to be fishing a nice light see-through line when you're fishing with zigs. You don't want 20-pound mono or anything silly like that. So this 10-pound, although it might seem light, a lot of big carp are caught on zigs on 10-pound line. So this is everything you need to get started with zig fishing. Now if you're fishing a lake that's super deep, you might want to be using adjustable zigs. The same applies with everything else, other than the fact you'll need an adjustable zig float. But for the majority of your fishing, up to about 15-20 foot, I would say, you just want to be fishing a standard lead clip or one of the Nash running lead clip systems. So let's get on to how you tie this zig. So first up, we're going to get some 10-pound zig flow. I'm going to cut ourselves off a section of that. Now when zig fishing, I like to fish around 3 foot under the surface to start with. Now I'm not going to bore you and tell you exactly how I think you should approach zig fishing. In terms of the tackle, this is what you want to use, but when it comes to the depths, it really depends on the time of year and the lake you're fishing, because the carp might be swimming right on the surface, they might be 4 foot under, or if it's a 20-foot lake, they could be 10 foot. So I'm going to go with a 6-foot zig, as the lake I'm fishing now is 10 foot deep, so I want it to be 4 foot from the surface. It looks hot, but it's not so warm, so the fish are a little bit lower down. So I'm going to cut myself off a section of that. Always give a little bit of extra to start with. Once you've got your section of the zig flow, super simple, you will then get yourself a size 7 claw. Now to tie this hook on, you really can tie the knot however you want. I use a nice old-fashioned knotless knot. Whip that up the hook 8 times and back through the eye like so. There we go, absolutely solid. That line will not slip through. Nice secure knot. Once you've got the hook attached to the line, you will then get yourself a zig screw. Now I personally like a black or a yellow, however it's all personal preference, and once you start catching on zigs you'll have a preferred colour. On this occasion I'm going to go for a yellow kicker. Then once you've got the kicker, you simply slide that over the opposite end to where the hook is, pull that down. Once you've got the kicker in place, I'm going to go for a high attract zigger, black and yellow foam. Now these I think are absolutely perfect. Like I said before, black and yellow is my favourite colour. I've opted to use the yellow kicker, and now I'm going to insert the foam on to the screw. Now you want to be putting the black foam at the bottom, and I'll explain why in a second. Simply screw that on. It's really simple. You can take the foam off, try different colours, try different colour kickers. It's not hard to tie. Anyone will be able to use this setup. And there you go, a nice, neat, easy to tie zig. Now the reason why you want the black part of the foam to be against the hook is because if you imagine that zig sitting like this and the carp are swimming from underneath the hook bait, against a white sky, that black foam will stand out and look just like a fly or a hatch. Now, if the carp's swimming from over the top of it, the yellow part of the foam will stand out against the darker lake bed. So either angle that the carp swim at it, they're going to be able to see it. If you put the black at the top, the yellow's going to blend in with the sky, and from the fish swimming over, the black, they won't be able to see it against the bottom of the lake bed. So that, for me, is a very, very effective setup for zig fishing. Now, all I need to do now is add an extra large anti-tangle sleeve to the other end. Don't really need to show you how to do that, but I'll put it on there anyway. Thread that through, and then you'd simply tie a loop in that and put that onto your quick change swivel and your leg clip system, and that is it. That is as simple as it gets. Zig fishing, you need to try it to be confident in it. Once you start catching a few fish, I'm sure that you'll realise just how deadly effective it is. It's off the bottom where most of the time the fish are swimming around looking for grub. Get on the zigs, give it a go. This bundle is live on Rippa Tackle's website.